Hello, how you guys doing? This is Shane back with another vinyl update. I promised last week that I was going to do a follow-up England um, uh, music pickup, and I am. I hadn't shot a video prior for about a month, so I certainly am behind, but I'm going to go ahead and shoot this, and then in a few weeks I'm going to shoot another one because I already got enough. I got more stuff coming in than going out, so to speak. But let me just get into it. Let me just show you what I got, and we'll go from there. So this is all ages records, and I'm going to show you everything I got in this fucking huge bag, and it's a lot of stuff. So yes, a ton of stuff. Oh my god. I should show that towards the end of the road, I think. I'll try to show some of the things I got. All ages record sticker. Show some shows, the Primevals. Trying to think who else is on here. The Screaming Violence, punk rock show. And no, I don't know any of those fucking bands. Have no clue who they are. Look at this one, Rebellion Fest. PIL, The Damned. Holy shit. The Undertones, Circle Jerks, Peter Hook and the Light, Slaughter and the Dogs, Bad Manners, The Selector. Punk rock show coming up in August. It's fucking awesome, like a 4-day festival. It's pretty cool. I'd love to go to that. The Spirits Alive. This is a show also. Blat Oi Dia Now Wittegrag Durangos for Europe. I think those are the bands at the show. At the place is called the Black Heart, the gig place. So those are the bands. Blat Oid Idea, Durangos for Europe, and No Hit Urag. Don't ask me. And last but not least, we have Raven Records, which I didn't go to. That's like, I guess it was a few things away. It's like a coffee shop slash heavy metal record store, which I didn't go to. I mean, I'll go to it next time I'm there, and I'll be there again soon. Eroding Empire. This is DIY punk and anarchist. It looks like it's a bunch of bands, including Hiatus, Zero Again, Instant Ruin. I'm showing you guys all these fucking things. And Disaffect, Havat, Leashed, Catastrophe at the New Cross Inn. Pretty cool. And this side has a Masochist, Mortar, Rot at, I don't know where this is at. Pretty cool. So those are all flyers I got for free. I bought a lot of flyers. I just got to show you everything. All Ages is a great record store, but it specializes in punk, in metal, and that's all that's there. So that's all this is going to be. I've shown these before, and I don't seem to get a huge reception. But if you don't like punk or metal, you're not going to like this show, this episode of mine, or whatever you want to call it, video. But whatever. This is the Lassiters, and this is their full-length debut album. The Charred, what is this called? The Charred Remains of Gusso the Clown. The Charred. This one was £7, $6.99, £7 on that. And these guys look like a bunch of fucking WWE fans. Look like a bunch of Dungeons and Dragons. But this is pretty good, kind of noise rock. It's on this the touch and go era of like Shellac and Jesus Lizard. Very much has the Jesus the Lizard sound. I thought for sure this was going to be black metal, but it's more noise rock, and it says so. And they're from London, their debut record. I got so much to show. I just want to get into this stuff. CDs, and I got a lot of CDs to show you, but before I show you those, I'm going to show you the DVDs I got. And yes, I got DVDs from there. And a t-shirt, which I'll show you in a second afterwards. This is The Gits, documentary about the great Seattle punk band, The Gits, or Jits, or whatever you want to call it, including who the documentary involves who killed Mia Zapata, the lead singer of the Gits. Jits, the legits. It's a boot. All these are boots, but I wanted to shoot this so I can get these to my brother so he can watch these first. I tried playing on my DVD player, it wouldn't work, but yeah, Mia Zapata, one of the great female vocalists in punk. I mean, I really can't think of somebody whose voice is more powerful in punk that's female than hers. It's amazing, her voice. And I might have a Gits, something else by the Gits later on, or Jits, or whatever you want to call them. Born to Lose, the last rock and roll movie. This is another bootleg. This came out in '99. This is the Johnny Thunders autobiography, and I'm a huge Johnny Thunders fan. Once again, it's a boot. So I've heard of this. This is not. I don't think it's on tape or anything like that. So we'll see. I'm gonna actually open this window a little bit because it is fucking hot in here. So yeah. So Born to Lose. I love this one. The Cure. Staring at the Sea. The Images. So a bunch of singles, I think, that you could watch, of videos maybe, or live performances of kind of their mid to early stuff. Everything for up to, I think, Head on the Door, or Head on the Floor, whatever the fuck the name of that album is. I don't know why I have such a problem, but this was a VHS only, and if you're a Cure fan like I am, this was a absolute must get. So yes. And last but not least, and I watched the first one of these, but this is Punk Britannia. This one was 12 pounds. And this is a 3-disc set of pre-punk, punk, and post-punk. So this is cool shit. And so the first one, DVD, you can just see they're white. I don't know why I'm showing them to you. They're all boots. The first one is pre-punk, 72 to 76. If I seem rushed, it's because I kind of am tonight, so I apologize. I'll try to slow things down now. But pre-punk is 72 to 76. That's disc 1. Punk is 76 to 78. And then post-punk 78 to 81. I saw the first one. It's cool. It's got a lot of footage of the Sex Pistols and stuff. And I kind of shot during that time period. And it's like the BBC shot this in England. So it's like, you know, done tasteful and done pretty well with really good footage. So if you're into punk and the history of British punk, like the guy said, this is a great introduction to British punk. And you can learn a lot about, like, kind of the bands, their sentiments, sort of their music inspirations a little bit. Kind of more like, I shouldn't say the music inspirations, but more to like what drove the music. You know, a lot of environmental stuff. So that's pretty cool. And that is it for the DVDs. And there was the cassette. I'm going to show you the one t-shirt. I got another t-shirt, but I gave it away. So I'm going to show you this t-shirt, which I got for 12 pounds. I love it. So it's Rancid, Out Come the Wolves. There were a lot of t-shirts there. There were actually better t-shirts, but there were like 20 pounds. And I'm trying to buy my t-shirts for like a lot less than that. So I went with the cheap one. let's go through the CDs next. Yeah, so that's Rancid, Out Come the Wolves. So that's such a great album. I still love that album. I remember going on a bus when I used to have when I was in college and I was coming home, and I only had like a handful of cassettes, and one of them was Out Come the Wolves. I think the other ones were like it was a Dwight Yoakam one, Guitars, Cadillacs, Rolling Stones, Exile on Main Street. I think Fear the Record, and then that fucking Out Come the Wolves. And I listened to them kind of religiously when I would ride that Greyhound on the way home. It was actually a really gorgeous, gorgeous like ride because of the mountains and trees. This was northern Michigan, which is gorgeous. It's gorgeous up there. But we'll see. All right. These next ones are CDs. I'll try to go through these real fast. A lot of good ones, and one in here that I wish I would have got. I'm going to show you at the end. I think I want to show you kind of the big CD purchase I got. So let's get into it. Philadelphia's Riverside Odds. This is a band from Philadelphia doing kind of an oi street punk. Not great, but decent. The name of the album is Let the Mayhem Begin. I just thought this was okay. I didn't float my boat. I wasn't like coming hard or anything like that over it. Coming hard, like like dropping a load over it. It's okay. It's pretty decent. There's a lot of bands it seems like from Philly that are doing this kind of street punk thing and not doing it very well from what I heard. I mean, it's good. It's just not great in my opinion. I thought this was it was okay, not my favorite. But these first were like a pound or like a pound and a half, real cheap. So this is a great band from Texas, Die Strom, D Strom, and D Stroms. You see the Texas thing on here. So they're interesting because they're kind of all over the place. There's a mix of like sort of like folk and country in this, and some of it's straight up punk, and some of it's like I don't want to say cow punk, but like kind of country punkish. It's a little bit of, and when they do songs that are like Psalm of Apostasy, that song is totally fucking like country kind of folk rock ish kind of stuff. But their first song on here, Dante's Inferno, is more like, or Friends Like Enemies, are kind of more up tempo, just punk rock music. So it's a band that kind of like, I don't know, it's interesting stuff, and it's done real well. So D Stroms, this is really good. This is a 2017 release, and I don't know what the name of the album is because it doesn't really have the title of the album on here. It says a bunch of stuff, but I'm just gonna say self-titled D Stroms. Good Texas punk. There's something about the fucking air in Texas because they do not do things like that are in the normal way. You know what I mean? They do not do things that are normal. So it's really interesting. The sort of like, I guess, I don't know how to describe it, but they're like big boys, and some bands like the Offender sound hardcore, but some of the bands like the Big Boys and the Dicks had kind of a different sound in hardcore or in punk in general. And I don't know. This is like Texas punks want to fucking even rebel against the old 3 power chords or those power chords, 1, 2, 3 fucking kind of riffs, and it's really interesting. This is an interesting. I think this one was interesting too. Mr. Susan popularity contest. So this band is from London too. A lot of these bands are, and they really kind of have not a very big following. And I saw some of the live clips of them, and it wasn't very good. But there's something really interesting about this sort of electronic, progressive, art rock meets punk or post-punk thing that's going on here. So I think this is more to me like an interesting experiment than it is a reality. And I don't mean anything against the band. I mean, I'm sure they're all great musicians and stuff. But I just thought it was like, well, this is interesting. They're merging these styles together, but it's not really. I don't know. That fucking light is really right in my face. All right. It's not as, I don't know. It's just not that. I don't know. You might like it, progressive slash electronic art rock meets post punk music. I didn't love it, and I'm not even trying to be hard. I'm just being honest with my opinion on it. This is great. I forget where this band is from. They're an American band too. Through Chaos and Solitude. And this is the Thawing. Oh, God. The Thawing Winds of the Morning. The Thawing Winds? The. Yeah, the thawing winds of the morning sun. Sorry. That doesn't really make any sense. This is some really tasty black metal. Uh, it's an EP. I think it's one of their first releases through Chaos and Solitude. Kind of in the vein of like Death Heaven a little bit, or Agriculture, in that pastoral sort of beautiful black metal, which I'm not like a real huge fan of this kind of style black metal, but give props to where props are due, I guess. So through Chaos and Solitude, in the, I'm not even gonna, the Thawing Winds of the Morning Sun. I don't know. I'm probably not even saying that right, but I don't have a lot of time here. This sucks. Ocean Drive, the Rhapsody tapes. This is the kind of shit you get. All these were like a pound and a half, so they're in the discount bin. New metal mixed with some electronic stuff. This did nothing for me. I do not like this at all. I think I might give this to like a friend at work and see if her husband likes this, because he likes that kind of shit. Me, I just, mm-mm. I think like the first song, "What I Love About," I think is okay, but this didn't do much for me either. But Ocean Grove, the Rhapsody tapes, yeah, not much for me there either. This is fun. The Blue Meanies with the, is this the Post Wave? The Post Wave, yes, by the great Chicago band the Blue Meanies, on the Thick record label, 2001. Long-standing sort of ska band that has really kind of a, at least on this album, a real somber sort of, it's almost like moody indie rock meets fucking ska. This is a lot different than the ska I'm used to hearing. But maybe that's just this album. I don't really fucking know. This was I think on MCA Records, which is crazy. But I thought it was really interesting that they're mixing kind of this moodiness with ska. You think of the like the Sami Zayn theme or whatever. But yeah, I suppose there's some fucking variety in ska music. So yeah, this is pretty good. The Blue Meanies with the Post Wave. So I enjoyed this. We're getting through these fast, guys. Oh boy, the Murder Burgers. What a mess. What a great band. Scottish band, doing kind of fusing a really nice sort of grungy indie rock into power pop, and I really dig this. This is like almost like something that like Hot Topic emo kids from the fucking 2000s might gravitate towards. The lyrics are really fucking like depressing, but there's just enough kind of a grungy indie feel into here, and the lyrics seem kind of heartfelt. I wonder if some of this is tongue-in-cheek. I mean, the guy's laying in bed with his dog, or I don't know. But when I saw them playing at KXEP, there's a live saw them. I didn't see them live, but I saw the video of them playing live at KXEP. It sounded great, and I liked the songs from the live performance I was watching. So, and this I thought was really pretty good. I mean, this kind of goes against my own fucking kind of logic because I really hate fucking pop punk that came out in the 2000s and above, but I kind of like this. Like I said, I think there's the grungy elements really add something to this. And they're a European band, so it's going to sound a little different than American bands. I'm not sure exactly why, but yeah, there's a ton of tracks on here. There's 14 tracks on here. Pull this out. I bought something else that was, I think they were called Shit. It's pronounced Shit or something like that. And there are members from Murder Burgers who did that project. And then so Murder Burgers were on my fucking sort of radar. And I really do enjoy this. It's strange. Now I feel like I can go in and talk shop with the Hot Topic kids. And I guess my thing on that was like I didn't really have a problem with the Hot Topic kids per se. I thought they were fine. I think it was just more or less for me. It was like I didn't like that music at that time. And I used to think it was kind of silly, but now that I work with somebody that kind of forces me to listen to some of it, I don't dismiss it as much as I would have. So, Murder Burgers, what a mess. We're almost done, dudes. Great band here. I think they're an English band, the Eden House, with the Looking Glass. This is a 2-disc set. One is a DVD of them live from the Gold Top Studio in London, and the other one is an audio CD that's an EP of covers, including them covering Venus in Furs and 2,000 Light Years from Home. So I'll show you this real quick. Gothic rock. This is kind of gothic in the gothic rock vein. So Adam got a Region 2, so I don't know why I bought this. I just love the cover. They had a few other Eden House records there that I would definitely snag down the road, but this is a nice start for me. Yeah, it's really good gothic rock. It has a bit of a Field of Nephilim kind of sound to it, but it has really, really kind of sultry vocals too. Sultry, sort of like haunting vocals in it as well. If you like gothic rock like I do, and this is not the end of the gothic rock today. There's some gothic rock. It's not just punk and metal. I should have prefaced that before I mentioned earlier it's all punk metal. It's not. So there's even some like indie rock in here too. Staying on that gothic vein, this is the Definitive Sex Gang Children compilation. It is called Shout and Scream. These guys are kind of interesting. Band from London, I believe. And this has a real atonal sort of harshness to it that it's almost like, I wouldn't call it experimental, but it certainly has like noisy undertones in it, or undercurrents, or whatever you want to call it, in the music. And I had a Sex Gang Children album that I loved. I think it was an EP, their first EP I have on vinyl. So I saw this, I was not gonna, and this one was 10 pounds. The Eden House was 10 pounds too, but this is 10 pounds. Shout and Scream by the Sex Gang Children. Pretty cool. And the last of the CDs was one I just sort of, I have one more, but I'm going to show that at the end, is one of my big purchases because it was 30 pounds. So I'll show the last two things as my big purchases. But this is something I was talking, I referenced this band earlier, and I asked him as we were talking about the Gits, and we are talking about that documentary. I didn't know anything about them. I heard their name, but didn't know anything about them. And fucking, yeah, So I got the dirt on the band in kind of, I asked him if he had any Gits there, and he only had this on CD, which is a Sub Pop reissue of their first album from 1991, French and the Bully. So Gits it pretty good. I mean, this is kind of like to me punk and roll. It's not hardcore. It's just like kind of like I don't know what you would call it. It definitely is punk, but it's not like, it has rock and roll kind of a edge to it, kind of almost like bluesy at times, but not more like the riffs are bluesy. But yeah, just really good fucking punk music. Um, yeah, with a sense of rock and roll and spirit and some bluesy kind of riffs every now and then. But yeah, pretty heavy shit. So yeah, the Gits, French and the Bully. All right, so I got through these fairly quickly. We're probably going to be done with this fairly early today. I was hoping I could get this done under 10 minutes or an hour. We'll see. I don't want to get too excited yet, but we will see. I got a few things for free. These were for free, so. So we'll go through those. So the first three things I want to show you are 45s that the owner just gave me. He said gifts for you guys because we spent 350 fucking pounds in his store. So he was happy about that. So he gave us this right here real quick, which is Raising Hell. It's a little publication. I should have showed that earlier, but I'm trying to really kind of fly through this today because I got so much other shit I gotta do before I go to bed. I have to get up at like 3 a.m. and it's after 6, so 6 at night. So I gotta scram. So I'm not trying to be too rushed, but interviews, all that stuff. Flip. Kind of like a fanzine, almost like Maximum Rock and Roll, but. At least the paper quality is. So he gave me that, and then he gave me all of these singles and albums and stuff. This is Seized Up. This is one of those see-through singles, and the piece is called Dancing in the Balance. Kind of death metal, I believe. I haven't really listened to Seized Up too much. I believe it's like death metal with, lots of noise in it. So maybe grind elements into it, from what I can remember. And I was gonna re-research some of these bands, but if you like it, then you could probably do that. This is great. A split with two bands here called Filth Pact and Debacle. Once again, these were given to me for free, so I never give a gift horse in the mouth. If people are going to give you shit, you just take it. I think that's pretty cool. So grindcore, Filth Pact is with some crust, I believe, and I believe Debacle is kind of grind crust too, adding elements of both styles of music. But don't quote me on the Debacle. I don't know 100%. But I think Filth Pact is in that grind elements stuff. Valhalla Pacifist and Burning the Prospect. It's pretty cool. This is another one of those fucking splits. I really like that cover. And look, it looks like Ian Mackay's goofy British twin. Oh gosh, oh man. And I believe both of these are kind of hardcore, with some with some. I think Valhalla Pacifist is kind of like crossover hardcore, like some thrash elements into hardcore, and then Burning the Prospect I think is a little got some crust, but also some. I think I think they have some uh, like sludginess to them too, if I'm correct. So nice split between. I love the names Valhalla Pacifist and Burning the Prospect. That's really cool. Two albums, and then I got this. This is great. This is just straight out grindcore. Filth Pact and Suffering Fuck. So Suffering Fuck has got like crust elements to it, but Filth Pact is straight up grindcore from what I can remember. I got issue 289 to 300, which is cool. So much for trying to get this done in under an hour. It ain't gonna fucking happen. But it's on colored vinyl. Yeah, I even try, and I just got too much shit. Another split here between War Coma and Jesus Bruiser. Both of these, I think War Coma is hardcore with some crust, and Jesus Bruiser I think is one of those crust bands that has metal influences in it as well. So pretty cool to get. Mind you, these records were for free, so you know, take what you can get from it. You know, for me, it's just like that's pretty cool to get free shit. You know, so I'm not complaining. You know, I'm trying to figure out where to put these at. There we go. Last one is not. So I got a few in here that are not punk and metal. I spoke too soon, as I said earlier. This is Tim Holhouse with the album Hole. So he's from England. I'm not sure if he's from London or not, but plays around a lot in there. And he's kind of considered folk singer-songwriter-ish stuff. It's got elements for sure of Tom Waits in this, for sure. That was one of the first fucking things I heard. And this kind of reminded me a little bit, I would say a little bit of like fucking Amigo the Devil, with a kind of like gothicness to it. Some of the songs, especially Good Morning Mr. Vampire. But just a little bit, kind of that playfulness, gothic folk, that up-tempo stuff that Amigo the Devil does so well. So Tim Holhouse, and that's Hole House, Tim Holhouse. And the album is called From the Dawn Chorus. I'm sorry, did I say Coma? No, I didn't. I don't think I said that. From the Dawn Chorus. I'm trying to go through these so fast. It's, you know. So those were all the free albums I got. These I had to pay for. So I'm going to try to flip through these as quick as possible. This first one is, God, I cannot even say the name right. Fucking, I hate this. Anna Anstict, Ansticty, Ansticty, something like that. And the album's called Leban's Labyrinth. So, from what I can remember, I believe this is kind of in that like hardcore vein, you know. And I think these guys might be German, but yeah, well, once again, don't quote me on that. But yeah, it looks like they're from German. Yeah, this is kind of like great, like kind of street punk, a little bit of street punk / hardcore. And Ansticty, I think is the name of this group. Okay. Yeah, and that other side is like this. So yeah, this one was just a few pounds, like 3 or 4 pounds. So I couldn't go wrong, could I? I could, I guess. Yeah, he's got like a discount bin, and that's what I kind of hit up first. I went in there and bought like 4 or 5 records that were all cheapy. Because his records can kind of get expensive fairly quickly. And you know how that goes. This is the 1984 draft with the album Best Friends Forever. It says off the Pak Tech label, I think. And this is the band from Dayton, Ohio, I believe. And they have a healthy, it's indie rock with a really healthy worship of the Replacements, for sure. It does have a little bit, some of it sounds a little bit like maybe another great Dayton band that must have influenced them, Guided by Voices. But indie rock stuff. This was pretty good. I didn't think it was great or anything, but it's pretty good. I like it when he gets American records, and this isn't anything I saw in America, so yeah, it's pretty cool. I thought there was one in here that wasn't. Shit. Well, I'll get to it when I get to it, I guess. Rangstein. Rangstein, Japanese band. This is off the Deadbeat label out of Cleveland. This is some just really good catchy punk. It just has a sort of like real catchiness to it. It's not like hardcore. You know, it's got like sort of like kind of this blue collar ethos going into it. And yeah, it's pretty fucking good. So, Japanese band Rangstein. Let's picture the band. I'm not gonna pull out the vinyl at this point. I don't have time. This is some great like gothic punk. The band is Motor Save, and the album is called Respirator Dome. Respirator Dome. So Motor Save. This is really fucking good. Yeah, I enjoy the fuck out of this. Like I said, it's got a punkness to it. It's also got some gothic elements into it, and kind of mixes them both pretty well. A little noisy, a little on the lo-fi spectrum of things, which is even more up my fucking alley. This is off of Kink Records, and so Motor Save. This is good stuff from Matosav, I don't know. So pretty good. Great band from Milwaukee. I just watched a documentary on Milwaukee's punk scene in the early 80s, and they mentioned the wonderful Crusties with Crustoons. Yeah, the Crusties. So if you're from Milwaukee and you like punk in the 80s, you probably know this wonderful band. Beer City reissued this. This was cool. This was like 10 pounds or something like that. It was fairly cheap on the Beer City label there. Yeah, these guys were interesting. They actually had a like trombone, I think it was, that they played on stage. And the guy said that in the band said that he had learned to play it and he just wanted to incorporate the sound into the band's music, even if it didn't really fit. So the Crusties have a really nice kind of I don't know if I'd call it. It's like kind of a driving punk, maybe hardcore, with some obviously noise elements and playfulness in it. It's almost as if like you were to take who would be like Alice Donut and they were like kind of like hardcore, just punk band. You know, that's what the horns in there kind of remind me of Alice Donut, but not quite as crazy as Alice Donut. This is kind of more endearing, I think, a lot more. I mean, it's goofy. They have songs like Hort and Here's a Who, but this is so fucking cool having a Crusties record. Crustones, yeah, it's pretty awesome. Field Agent, and this is Reflection. This is off the Triple B label. Hardcore punk, Really, really good hardcore punk. Um, I'm not remembering where Field Agent is from, but yeah, this is great. I would say this is probably an EP too. There's only got 7 or 8 songs on here. This one again was like in that fucking discount bin and was like, I think maybe £10. So I just took a chance on it. So this is some great noisy ass crust music. The band is Fatal Slumlord, and the album is Agora Voodoo. So Final Slumlord. Yeah, this is exactly DB crust kind of stuff. It's what you would expect or you would think it would be with that cover and looking at the back. This is an EP of theirs, and it's fucking great. I just love like some DB crust shit. I probably like DB even more than crust, but when they combine both of them, as some bands do, this label has oh god, the Heavy Nukes on there. Raw Hate is another great band. Discover, Kruger, some good stuff on here on this label, which is Romantic Disasters label, maybe. I can't read that right, but like I said, I'm trying to get through these as quick as possible because I would really like to be under a minute if I can help it. This is a split of some more hardcore punk. This is um, Unstoppable War and Blind to Faith. Or Blind to Faith, I'm sorry. Now, this isn't a split. It's just the band Blind to Faith. Another hardcore crust album called Unstoppable War. This is really good too. No problems with this. Just great noisy sort of DB crust stuff into hardcore. I remember liking this quite a bit. You know, and they got a ton of that kind of stuff there. A ton of like records that are like that you can get for £10 and stuff like that. So I'm not always in the mood to buy that kind of shit when I'm there. I'm kind of more in the mood to get other kinds of things. But when they're that cheap, you're gonna get them. This one is an EP called Burned Alive with Exercise Your Right to Die. This is great hardcore too. Everything is hardcore. The Coming Strife Records has released this, another EP. This one I just love the cover to it and got it for that reason. And it's a 10-inch record. Angry, pissed off hardcore. I don't know what you want me to say. That's what it is. So the cover is amazing. This is some black metal, guys. I did get some metal. Not much. Yeah, I got a few. I got some metal coming up pretty soon here. I got some metal coming up. This is Melgoth with Glory Through Savagery. So, Melgoth. 3-piece black metal band. I forgot where these guys were from. I think this has a bit of a sort of war metal kind of thing going on in it. You can see the pictures of the band members. Don't, like I said, don't quote me on it. Don't hate the player, hate the game, as they used to say. I'll actually pull this out. I don't think this is on black vinyl or yeah. I had done a lot of research on these bands and stuff when I first got this stuff, and I didn't retain all the information. So, sorry about that, not remembering it. I'll give you the names of this stuff, or you could always leave a comment and ask me about like what was, you know, and I should list the albums and stuff, but I usually have way too much shit. There's Malgoth. I knew this was going to be fucking black metal. Yeah, this is like the kind of thing I could get up in Tampa, but would be twice the price on this. This would probably be like $20, and I got this for like, I think, 9 or 10 pounds, which is about 11 or 12 American dollars. Sorry, 8 before I did this. Sorry about that. All right. This was considered one of the best European bands at the time when they had come out, before they had come out, and I couldn't believe how good this was either. This band also was on that KX EP. Yeah, trying to get that out of the background. Sorry about that. This band was also on it, and they have kind of an interesting rhythmically challenging sort of like gothic-esque post-punk. And the name of the band is Incontrollable Una Bestia is the name of this band. And I was looking at the comments in on YouTube, and I saw multiple comments that said best band in Europe. Really interesting sound of mixing like this sort of propulsive, hard driving post-punk with sort of a gothic undertone to it, and also punk, I would say, to an example. So una bestia, it's una bestia incontrollable. So I said that wrong. It's not incontrollable una istia. It's una istia incontrollable. This is really fucking good. This might be the best thing one of the best things I bought. And I totally bought it on a whim. I was thinking it was going to be noise rock or experimental punk or something like that. But this is, like I said, it mixes kind of like this real rhythmic, intense sort of post-punk into, with some of the hard driving stuff being kind of punk and having kind of gothicness to it. So, una bestia incontrollable. Una bestia incontrollable. Really fucking good. This probably is the best thing I picked up when I was over there. I won't know till I actually go over there, but we'll see. This band's from Italy doing a really good gothic rock, and this is Vacul with In the Darkness You'll Feel Alright. You knew that was going to be fucking In the Darkness You Feel Alright, which you can't really see down here. But I knew it was kind of going to be sort of like, it's gothic punk. I would say this is almost gothic rock, but I guess it's got a little bit of a kind of a punk and roll kind of thing into it's sort of gothic rock. It's got kind of a punch to it. This is so fucking good. This is also one of the best things I had picked up, and I think this is just on black vinyl. I believe it is. I don't think this is on. Yeah. This is one of the best things I bought over there as well. So the last two things I bought, which were gothic, are kind of like the two best things I bought over there. So, go figure. This is some great thrash revival shit right here. This is Pest Control with Don't Test with the Pest. Don't test with the pest. Say that fast 5,000 fucking times, Chief. Yeah, I wouldn't say thrash revival, but it's thrash music. And I forgot where Pest Control were from, but this is really good. The label is GCHQ, I think, is the name of the label. This is some fucking awesome, tasty ass thrash metal. And I think it's got like a female lead singer, but the vocals are fantastic on here, you know. Sometimes I think female vocals in extreme music is actually fucking. It gives it kind of a distinctiveness, and I think sometimes even more energy, you know. So I think it's actually a good thing sometimes to have a female vocalist. if that's the case with pest control, which I think it is. My brother bought this strictly for the fucking cover. So don't test with the pest control. Oh shit. I'm going to show this, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm warning you, and I'm only going to show it for a second. This has got a really savage cover. And this band, I want to say, I think they're from Germany. I think they're from Germany. This is your Casette with Va vor la Flug vernickt tongue. And if you can't see that, that's a fucking severed head off a body. So I'm going to turn that shit around real quick. I've seen some Casette stuff, and it's always been kind of interesting, but not knowing who they are. I've seen one of their albums up in Tampa at Steelworkers. I'm going to set that down. And Casette is like one of those interesting bands that are doing really fucking amazing, really pulverizing, brutal fucking hard grindcore music. And this is no different, I'm sure, than the other stuff. The other album I've seen by him has like this Ethiopian kid on the cover, and that cover kind of just kept me intrigued into the game for a while. So this would be probably, because their albums are kind of like 26 to 30 or 26 to 40 depending on where you go. This one was 22 pounds, so I figured I probably should get it while I can, and I'm glad I did. It's the incredible Shrinking Dickies, the Dickies. So Southern Cal pop punk band with a great sense of humor and a great amount of energy in what they're doing. This is as good as pop punk gets, in my opinion, next to bands like the Resilios and of course the Ramones, of course. There was something about the 70s pop punk shit I thought is just so much better than the 90s and the 2000s pop punk. I was never a big fan of that kind of era pop punk stuff. And so the Dickies have just a great driving energy to them, and they're goofy as fuck, and they're funny too. So there's a lot of humor in their music. So if you've not heard the Dickies, I would think you would know who the Dickies are if you watch this channel. They're from the San Fernando Valley. The songs like "You Drive Me Ape," "You Big Gorilla." I mean, this is really goofy, and of course, they went on to, I'm not saying anything that most people don't know, that they performed the lead song from Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and they're kind of known for that, so that's not like a shocker. This is, I think, the last album Green Jelly made. This is awesome, with Garage Band Kids. He had 2 Green Jellies there, and I think we should have probably bought in the other one, because I don't really see their stuff in the States. Novelty horror band. I love fucking Green Jelly. I think they're one of the better fucking bands doing this kind of shit. I mean, they're like, to me, maybe and I still think not as good as Gwar, especially in the Dave Brockie era, but they're fucking good. And it's humor, it's novelty, but when they want to rip, they can rip, and it's really good fucking metal. And I think this was one of their last albums. And I just love that cover, man. It's just so fucking great. To see some Green Jelly. I never see their shit in the store here, in the States here. Isn't that a great cover? Look at that. And I'll show you the back of this too. This album, if I didn't. Look at that. Splattered green vinyl. This is one of the newer, I think, albums, or last albums they did. So this is going to be really interesting. Let me show you the back here. It's one of my favorite album covers ever. All the different garbage pale kids, but they call these garbage band kids. Like Punk Rock Pope, Fuck It, The Boy Who Cried Wolf, and he's smoking a joint. Beat My Meat. Beat My Meat. Yeah, they're really cool, really cool. Green Jelly, I love them, man. I think when they came out with their big hit, Three Little Pigs, I thought they were really fucking stupid. But man, I have grown to really fucking like Green Jelly. a lot is a really good metal band. I know they're kind of considered novelty, but I think they're actually a really good metal band. Last two things I want to show, and I think I'll show the um, CD last because it's a box set. But or should I show that now? I'll show it last. This is a. I have this on CD. I bought this originally at a gas station years ago for $5. I took it home and listened to it and fell in love with it. I never thought I'd be able to find this on fucking vinyl until now. This is great. The Passion of Covers, a Bauhaus tribute. This is really cool to fucking have because, and it's sealed so I can't show you, but it's on this like purple vinyl. It's back here. A lot of bands here that are probably not really well known doing Bauhaus songs. I love that cover. Look at that cover. Including Bela Lugosi's Dead by Electric Hellfire, I should say. And The Shroud, I think most people know them, doing Passion of Lovers, Hollow Hells, by the Faith in Muse. They actually, I've had a few Faith in Muse CDs. They're pretty good. Dark Entries by Kill Switch Click. She's in Parties Icon. Terror Couple Kill Colono by 11 Shadows. And probably to me, even though I know I'm probably going to be like probably in the minority on this, my favorite song on here is a song called Two Witches. And I love the original version that Bauhaus does. But I love this version by by Two Witches featuring Shade Factory. So King Volcano by Two Witches. It's so fucking good. With Shade Factory, I should say. It's so good. It's creepy. It's fucking awesome voice. He's a King Volcano. I'm not even doing it justice, but it's an awesome cover of a great Bauhaus song. Yeah. So, look at that fucking cover. Hey, dipshit to me, Nosferatu. the guy that made Nosferatu. That's what a real fucking vampire looks like. Not a guy with fucking mustache. And last but not least, certainly not least out of this, is another CD I want to show you real quick. And this one is really cool. It's the story of independent UK punk, 76 through 79. This is Action Time in Vision. I paid for this with my credit card, so we spent closer to $400 there. It was about $380. This, he just showed it to me, and this guy is such a good salesman. I was just like, I'll take it. And this is all a bunch of British bands, punk bands and post-punk bands like Joy Division, Alternative Television, of course, with the song Action Time and Vision. And I haven't opened it yet. I almost don't want to fucking open this. It's so cool. Adam and the Ants. Let's see. Pure Hell. That's great stuff. The Rivals. The Vice Squad. The Licks. The Jerks. The Panic. The Zeros. The Vacants. The Sniveling Shits are great. Lots and lots of UK subs. Chelsea, The Fall. So it's a mixture of like punk, post-punk from 76 to 79, which is one of my favorite eras for punk. This is just fucking excellent. You can see how many tracks are on there just by looking at that. Yeah, I paid for everything. We're already cashed out, and he showed this to me. Like the owner's like, you got to see this. I'm like, all right, can I use my credit card? And so it would have been about maybe even more money than that I spent. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I showed you is what I got from that all ages haul. I think it's kind of I had some diverse stuff in there, some metal, definitely some hardcore, some like even indie rock and gothic stuff. Some really good stuff in there. So I hope you enjoyed that. I know I pushed through that fucking fast because I'm really tired, so sorry about it. But I was trying to get it under an hour, and I'm gonna have it be right around an hour. But all the things I had in there, I think that's pretty good timing. So I'm gonna end you right now with a thank you for continued support and watching this channel. I know my videos are real long. I know that, and I know a lot of people aren't gonna watch them. But at this point, my feeling on it is I'm not going to change. It's not going to change. If I get less views, I get less views. I don't really care. I just buy so much shit. I want to show it all. I guess I could save it and do 20-minute things, but I don't really want to do that. That's not really my thing. What I could try doing is maybe doing 40-minute videos or half an hour videos. But once again, I like long videos. I like to watch long videos. I can't be the only one on YouTube that's got an attention span past 20 minutes. There's got to be people that like the long shit too. Or maybe I'm just an anomaly. I don't think I am. I'm sure there's people who like to watch long videos. It's just that people won't watch videos over an hour, probably on the consecutive. So, with that being said, thank you again for watching. I'll be back soon, actually, with another video, probably in another week or two. And then another video after that. So, probably 2 in June for sure. So, I'm going to come at you hard this month. So, take care. I'll see you guys later. As I say in Britain, jolly ho.